Supervisor, okay. Sheriff, please come up.
Thank you, I apologize. This is painful. I hope it's for everybody. I want this to end. Quite frankly, I don't think it's not your job to tell me what to do, and I will tell you this, that I have failed in the last year. In one of my intentions to do as the sheriff that is part of community-oriented policing is in addition to all of the things that you know I've already had to get involved with and change, and the things that we're doing, was to form an advisory council for me, and I have not done it. The intent is to involve community. I will tell you that just while I'm sitting here listening, and to appease all of you, I will let you suggest names. You will not tell me who is going to be on it, and I will tell you this, the guidelines.
Sure. Can I interrupt you for a second? We are not voting on establishing a council right now. We're voting on letting you sit down with George Johnson, and then you could tell him that, and then you could come back.
And I'm telling you, it's a waste of time for me to sit with George Johnson and come tell you. I'm telling you that it is my job, and it is what I was elected for, is to improve the community relationships with the Sheriff's Department and the people that we serve. Not yours, it's mine, and I want them to hold me accountable. And the commission, the group that I want, I will take suggestions from all of you. They cannot be politicians and they cannot be attorneys. They will be members of our community that have legitimate concerns of living in our communities with law enforcement, our communities, and making things better. And I welcome all of you to do that, but to tell me I'm going to do it, to tell me that George and I have to go sit down and go over this, will do nothing. We're going to move forward. If you don't like my committee, if the county of Riverside, if the people don't like what we're doing with that commission, then you can bring this up at some other time. But everybody going round and round and not knowing, throwing the last things in at the last minute, and no one really knowing what they're voting for anymore a couple of times. I mean, I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying we just need to move on. We know that this is an unbelievably horrible time in our community, and we can all sit and banter back and forth, or we can make a difference. And going back and forth and coming back in 30 days or 60 or 90 days to come up with something else, we'll keep drawing this on for 30, 60, 90 days or a year. And we will take what we've had since every 20 years there's one of these. And what's happened since then? Absolutely nothing, because we just keep coming back for another time and another date where we can discuss the same thing over and over again. As far as us, you and me and all of them and the residents of Riverside County, we either do something different, which is what I'm telling you, we're just going to move on and we're going to fix Riverside County. If the rest of the world wants to look at us and change their policies, procedures, and the way they work and live, perfect. That's our ultimate goal. But we just need to move forward with it.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Mr. Chairman, what I just heard the sheriff say is that what we're about to vote on, that he would meet with George Johnson, that he intends not to do that. I'm disappointed by that statement, and I'll withdraw my motion.
Well, then we go back to the original motion, if that's the case. And I'm not sure if anyone else wants to speak, but if we can put that back on the roll, Madam Clerk.
While she's doing that, may I?
I'm sorry?
While she's doing that, may I speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Supervisor Jefferson.
This whole event went about as well as one could expect.
Yeah, of course.
It's a tough nut. The sheriff has thrown just now, although it may not feel that way to some, the sheriff has just thrown an olive branch out that says, I'm going to form a committee. I'll let you know who's on it. You're welcome to give me your recommendations. We have an opportunity here to take him at his word and see how that plays out. Come back, ask the sheriff to come back in a month or 2 months, whatever it is, and see how it's going. And if it's not going the way some of my colleagues up here would like it to go, we revisit this. But take him at his word at the moment that this all evolves around law enforcement right now, and the chief law enforcement officer is saying, here's an olive branch, I'll do this. Let's give it a shot.
Okay, thank you. I think everyone is done speaking on this item, and so let's go ahead and put it up for a vote. Seeing that there is no second to my motion, item 3.23 dies a slow death. Thank you, everybody.
Was it really that slow?
Well, you know, it probably could have been worse. Thank you all for coming. Sheriff, thank you for your points. Everyone that heard, everyone that spoke on both sides, thank you as well, and to my colleagues. Yes, sir.
I would like to go ahead and just throw it in there. Maybe by July 7th, I'd like to have a report back from the sheriff on